Hey guys, Joe B here. This is the first video on the steps that I've taken to remove 1,000 square feet of grass from my property. The first step that I had taken was I used a nice flat shovel and through a lot of time and work and muscle, just, scrape this all up, one garbage can at a time, and sent it out to the trash. If you want to speed that up, you can hire a guy to do it, you can hire a crew to do it, and you can get a dumpster, but I saved that cost. Ultimately, that's going to be pocketed by doing it myself, getting a little exercise. So that was step one. I removed all of the grass from the property. In combination, during stages, I also planted desert-friendly plants because I live in Nevada, so the Southern Nevada Water Association and the local HOAs have an approved list of plants that can be used, especially if you're looking for the monetary rebate, which at this time I think is $3 a square foot. So it's in your best interest to try and save that cost and end up putting it in your pocket if you can. The next step that I did was I had approximately, 25, 30 sprinkler heads. And I would go to, I actually have one open right now that I had done. I would go to each one and using a pickaxe and a trowel, I would dig them all up and then I would put the 1/2-inch cap on it, cap it off. And then after I capped it, I put a little rock there where they were. So each one has a nice flat river stone so I can remember where those were. Those are for the ones that I'm not going to be using moving forward because here in Southern Nevada you need to use drip irrigation. You can't have sprinklers. So all the rainbirds, I removed them. But every once in a while I replaced it with a little riser, 1/2-inch riser, and these nice drip irrigation suppliers. This is just a single, but I do have some multiple ones around. There's another single. So that was step two, is to get all of the drip irrigation from the 1/2-inch on my original sprinkler system in. This means that I can still run the drip irrigation on a timer, but I don't have to be around to turn them on and off. This is what it looks like when it's done. So after the 1/2-inch of grass came up with the flat shovel, then I bought 1,000 square feet of this cloth. It has to be water permeable, which means the water has to be able to go through it. But it's like a cloth. It's not soft, but it's not rough. It's made up of a composite of, it feels like, I don't know, nylon almost. But anyway, it came in a big roll. Here it is. The roll for 1,000 square feet by 3 was $100. And I'll probably have to buy a little bit more to cover what I've got here because I ended up overlapping, of course, in some cases. And then you can see that from the cloth, from the bare ground to the cloth, then I put the 1/2-inch rock. This in particular is 1/2-inch Rebel Red, Nevada Rebels. Really pretty rock. But that also is an approved rock by the HOA. So everything has to be approved. If you want it to be in an HOA, you have to make sure you follow their guidelines. But all along the way, I was able to hide my drip irrigation sprinkler line. See, if you look at it here, I've got a double. I've got a double right here. See, there's one that goes into the little line. There's another one that goes into the little line. I had to use twist sticks to make sure they didn't pop off because the water pressure was a little high for it. So, from there, this line goes out to this guy. And this line goes out to this guy. And then up to that guy, and then up to that guy. But it's all covered with the rock, and it's above the cloth, but below the rock. That way it's accessible. I needed to get those in ASAP because it's actually mid to late June now, and we needed to have a good supply of water daily for the new plants. These are all new plants. I put them all in myself. This little path I put in, it's 104 pavers. It's just basically for aesthetics, just to look nice. So after the rock is on either side, you can see here I'm filling in with sand. But that's just something that can be done in spare time. That's not part of the big project. For me, each one has a zone. So this front hedge bush, that's zone 4, including these. That's a crepe myrtle right there, so this is going to be a big tree eventually. And then that over there is zone 3. That tree has some drip irrigation right there that runs along. That's zone 6, all along there. So everything has a zone that is activated by the sprinkler timers. So it's the best of both worlds. But I wanted to let you guys know what I'm up to. If you have any questions, let me know. This has been a lot of work and a lot of time, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it because I like the outdoor work. I like gardening, I like planting things, and I just like the accomplishment of it. And it's just a lot of fun planting the flora and fauna and seeing them happy and growing. Even right now, just after being planted, we've still got a little bloom on this crepe myrtle. It's a pretty crepe myrtle. Last thing I'm going to finish up with is to show you the rock for my 1,000 square feet here, and the 1/2 inch that I'm covering it with. I ordered 7 tons of rock, and for that, of course, I needed a wheelbarrow, so I picked that up at Home Depot for 90 bucks. Wheelbarrows are expensive these days. This one, this anvil, was 90. The reason why it was cheaper was because it has wood for the handles, and actually the bearing on the wheel is kind of crummy. I can hear it needs to be greased or pulled and checked. I believe I've ordered, there's my pile of rock out there at the street. I ordered 7 tons, and they told me at the nursery that 1 ton covers 120 square feet. So I said, well, I don't want to overdo it. Give me 7. And even that feels like it's going to be too much. But I can actually fit another ton or so right along here just by dispersing it and increasing the coverage. So just keep that in mind when you guys are ordering, that the nursery said 1 ton should cover 120 square feet. And I am here with about 1,000 square feet, and the 7 tons looks like it will be too much. See, as we can all observe, that right there is all I have left to do, and I still have what looks to be maybe about 3.5 tons still out there. So I think that this whole area that we are looking at now could have been covered by about 4 or 5 tons tops. All right, this is Joe B. This is what I've been up to. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care.